right, hello wine-drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and always happy to see our friends from Augustin Imports. I remember when Pearl, Perry, and Connie started the company, Kermit Lynch, their only supplier at that time, and, well, Pearl's no longer with the company, neither is Connie. They've moved on. This company bought by Premier Beverage years ago. Premier Beverage changed their name to Breakthrough Beverage, but Augustin still exists. I don't know how that happened, but let me tell you, some wineries that have been with them from day one also still with them. Amazing to see these guys like Calera still with this company, and Fisher's been with them a long time. Schaefer, just a great collection of wines. They've kind of had to reinvent the imports, and I remember this first wine very well with Jean Larochet's Australian Premium Wine Collection. We sold these wines when I was working for Republic National. Grosset, Polish Hill Riesling from the Clare Valley. This is one of the iconic producers from this region of the Upper Barossa, and this wine, textbook Clare Valley Riesling, a bit of that fusel quality you get on the nose, fresh apples, white peach, and really bright and refreshing on the palate as well, with maybe a little bit of residual sugar, but you get that acidity that balances out, and you really notice the zest on the finish, the lime, kind of leaving the tongue salivating for food. Excellent example of Clare Valley Riesling at $57, maybe a little bit expensive, but I think they make 4 Rieslings here. This is one of the better quality, the top level ones in terms of price. All right, the 2014 Montenidoli Fiore Vernaccia di San Gimignano. I may have murdered the first part of that name, but Vernaccia di San Gimignano, the only DOCG for white wine in Tuscany, and this wine had a very light nose and a hint of fresh baled hay, white apricot fruit, and all estate bottle juice here, 24 hectares of vines, and these guys specialize in Vernaccia, which this wine to me a light and refreshing wine. Not a great wine, not a wine that's meant to age, but supposedly these guys make one that's, you know, ages 5-10 years. This one more along the light and refreshing style. Some nice mineral notes and white flowers on the finish. $24.75. The Eyrie Vineyards, and well, this is, you know, the guy that got it all started in the Willamette Valley. Eyrie Vineyards. Anyways, this is one of the iconic producers there. Pinot Blanc, one of the grapes that a lot of people don't know. They make great Pinot Blanc in Oregon. You see a lot of Pinot Gris, but to me the Pinot Blanc can be much more interesting, like this wine. Notes of whetstone, white peaches, pear-like fruit, a hint of almond, kind of nutty character. Really nice richness on the palate, and a wonderful brightness and minerality lengthening the finish here. Excellent juice, a great example of Oregon Pinot Blanc. At $27.75, off to one of the top producers in California, and their most sought-after wine, this Jensen cuvee from Mount Harlan, Calera's top wine. They could sell every single box they make to the Japanese. For some reason, this wine is just caught on there, and I think there was some cartoon or something that, anyways, it's $100 a bottle, and if anyone deserves $100 a bottle for a single vineyard Pinot in California, it's Josh Jensen and Calera. He was the first guy in the 70s to realize the potential of this region and the terroir. I think he's still the only one out there, and this wine's got a beautiful nose here. Exotic spices, fresh truffle, earthy notes, red berry fruit, black raspberry, a big Pinot Noir with smooth, silky tannins. So this wine very well built. That lovely earthy character you get from his wines showing through on the finish, as well as brown spices. A very big but balanced style of Pinot Noir here. Most excellent juice. Like I said, $100. Not cheap, but Pinot Noir from great producers, and Burgundy, infinitely more expensive. Like Comte Armand, this Auxey Duresses, even though it's not Auxey Duresses priced, well, $48 is not expensive, but for this family, they go back to the French Revolution, and in 1994, they purchased 1.1 hectares, and this is all domain fruit. A nice spice and earthy character to this wine, a bit of an animal character, red plum and raspberry fruit, all biodynamic farming, like a lot of people in Burgundy today, and this wine has a lovely zest to it, a nice spice, a little smoky notes, and a bit of tannin on the finish here. Excellent example of this village in Burgundy from one of the masters. $48.75, and then Fisher, the Coach Insignia, this great producer, has 2 vineyard sites. This one is up in Calistoga, right near the Eyrie Vineyard, and this wine, 2012, showing wonderful balance. A little Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot in the blend. A nice amount of a loamy, earthy character here, but a lot of lovely red currant, plum, and cherry fruit. A little milk chocolate note there. A big and chewy wine on the tongue, but like I said, these 12s have got wonderful balance. There's a lovely richness to the fruit here, and the tannins also lovely, rich, and ripe, and not nearly as aggressive as the 2013s. You could age this wine for a decade or more in your cellar, but open it up with several hours, and on the second day, this wine drinking absolutely beautifully. At $101, a relative value. Look at this neighbor, the Eyrie Vineyard. You're going to pay triple that for it today. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.